Hey yo, what's poppin', Gang Talk family? It's your boy Kadeem. Some people know me as Case.
Dave
Introduce
here,
yourself.
reporting live, G.A.N.G.Talk TV, coming from this universe to your universe, all family.
Yeah, we not gonna have no real set location. This is gonna be real different, man. As far as this episode, this is gonna be an introductory episode to the family and letting us know what we doing here. First off, the name. I think that's the most important. Don't want to jump off the rails. Gang Talk. That stands for God's Acquiring New Goals, and just talking the shit. So that's what we dropped the talk there for, and eventually this will be accompanying video. So we have fastened a little bit right now. It's gonna be a little bit. It's gonna be humble. That's what we calling this stage right now, right, bro? This is the humble stage. I'm turning around. We got my man G.A.N.G. That's what we in the dojo right now.
Musician extraordinaire.
Yes, he is, and yeah. As of right now, we're real humble, but we're gonna expand this in many different ways. Me personally, I guess I should introduce myself to the family and those that don't know me at all. Me, I'm coming from the South Bronx. 26 years old in a week and a half, so I'm gonna be saying that for a while. This whole month I'm 26, and this whole thing is based around hip hop. I think that's the glue as far as the Millinois family globally. That's the glue that kind of keeping us together right now. Like we could look at each other and we could tell we might not even speak the same language. Somebody from Zimbabwe or something, but as soon as you say Pac, oh, he gonna throw up the West Side. You know what I'm saying? He gonna, oh, I love me some Pac, and things like that. And yeah, and we all understand the struggle. So I think that's why I've always been real gravitated to it. And growing up in the South Bronx, that shit was like religion in high school, bro. Like being on the tables and all of that shit. And the rhythm, yeah, and understanding the history of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to this podcast to get into as well, like the history of not just the music of it, but the energy that came with those people that started that. Like
absolutely.
they was on some shit. They wasn't on some mumbling now and tattoos on the face looking like etch-a-sketch and shit.
What do you call it? Mumbo jumbo music nowadays?
Mumble rap. Yeah, and I don't knock those guys at all for what they do. If they really truly feel like that's the pocket they in, and they get in the bag for their family and all of that, that's good for them. But there's no substance behind
the message behind
yeah,
that?
There's no substance behind a lot of that shit. So, I want to get back to that shit. And I think ultimately that's going to be one of the driving tools to get black people on a gang type of code. Like that's going to get us on a codified type of way of moving, whether it's financially, dealing with agriculture and all types of other different fields.
Spiritually.
Yeah, spiritually. And if we have some type of foundation to go back to, we'll never fall off our principles too much. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Tell the family about yourself, Dave.
Yeah. David here, straight from Capitol Heights, Maryland. Not too far from the nation's capital, right on the border. Just piggybacking on the message in which we convey. Hip hop being the forefront, but then kind of branching off into other avenues. We have the fashion front, we have the social front, we have the cultural front, we have the ethnic front. We got to keep our brothers and sisters uplifted in this here day and time, in tragic times, politically speaking, if you know what I mean. Yeah, don't have to speak too much words in that regard, but we're survivors, and here we are to, speak the message to, keep everyone knowledgeable and to keep the rhythm alive in that regard. We will have, some special guests as we continue this podcast. This is episode 1, as we spoke before. But it's all love. We definitely want to kind of keep the energy going, where the energy has been left out in a lot of topics culturally, here we are, and we're excited, and we got a lot to offer.
I think we should. One thing that just came into my head too. I think we should drop just one slang, just like, like an equal sign, because we're gonna be saying this word a lot, and it's gonna be we gotta be the pioneers of it, because niggas is gonna try to steal it. So here we're gonna pioneer the term on record. We've been saying this for some time now. but I think we should really put it in stone here. Starting from 2018, going into the eternity, hopefully.
Yes.
We are calling the ops, or the other side. They will be formally known as white people, or the mayonnaise militia. I've heard. I've heard that one, but that's already another team doing that.
Okay.
I heard that on another podcast, and now I'm hearing other people say mayo. So I'm pretty sure they listen to their podcast. Shout out to Thought Crimes. That's who says that. I heard initially.
Marshmallow population.
Oh my God, that's it. See,
that's
we gonna steal that? We gonna steal that too?
We can come up with a few right now.
We can come up with a few right now.
Yeah.
But the one in mind is Pilgrim. We are gonna be saying that is ours, but that is the family's as well.
Yeah.
I just think that just is one of the things that's gonna represent us.
And
totally.
Piggybacking on Pilgrims, I remember because I've been working in hospitality for a few years now.
I as well.
And this young lady, just overhearing her conversation, this young lady from the marshmallow population, she was, conversing with another gentleman, and she was so excited. My ancestors, they were one of the Pilgrims, and I saw it in her face,
Damn,
how excited she was, and I just felt so bad for her. I just felt really bad for her because she didn't. I don't know if she didn't know, or maybe she did know, but it's just the fact, it's just piggybacking on ignorance. And then it's just, it's like an oh my God moment,
I don't know. That's one of those things that's bizarre. And of course, we're going to open up a lot on this topic as well later. But this is weird. It's like I realized not this year, but kind of with Trump really being set in this country now. He's he's been in there for a while.
Right.
And I realized there's a whole different America.
Yeah.
A whole different America and the way shit is actually viewed. Right. And that should be already known, but I think we don't know the levels of how deep that shit really is. Like you said, Pilgrims. Yeah. That shit, and from my perspective, I look at Pilgrims that's an easy horror story to make.
Exactly.
In a world where people don't know where to live, they find a place and then they move there. And then it gets cold. Yeah. What will they do when it gets cold? You know what I'm saying? Starring Brad Pitt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas started eating each other and shit. Their history is really dark.
Yeah.
And kind of not something to be proud about, but yet, from a perspective of, I guess, a people that you pride on survival of the fittest, that's a fucking harrowing story. They'll look at you what do you mean?
Right.
My grandfather was a great man. He had to eat his grandchildren. What do you mean?
They didn't know how to wash up.
They didn't know to wash up. They did what they had to do. So I don't know. It's a thing that I don't really try to acknowledge anymore. I kind of revel in it though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I live in the hip hop world. I realized that wholeheartedly. Once my world didn't crack, once this motherfucker became president, I was that's a whole nother paradigm for I do not subscribe to. You know what I'm saying? So it's really interesting. And
yeah, definitely. It's kind of swept under the rug. I was talking to one of my mentors, and we were talking about fragrances and why Europeans, why they have so many great fragrances, because more so, they don't really, I don't know about nowadays, but back in the day, they didn't wash up as much. So they had to come up with these fragrances to cover up their body odor, as opposed to you going over to the Ugandas and, you're taking baths in the finest of gold pots and cold tubs and things like that. So there's the cultural difference that's kind of not put on the forefront, but always on either side, viewed in a certain light or presented in a certain light by certain people.
Yeah, it's definitely elevated by people and our family as well. You know what I'm saying? And here we're gonna stop that shit. Me and you, we don't fuck with that shit. Right. We gotta tell the family that too.
We gotta tell them the truth.
Motherfuckers is all the way pro-black. You know what I'm saying? As far as the way we move, you know what I'm saying? In no way, shape, or form do we view any realm of Eurocentrism as being popping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they get the culture from us.
Exactly.
They don't really have cultures unique to their own. They always take from others. You know,
Exactly.
I feel like us as African American black folks, we are the trendsetters for the world. You can think worldwide, not even just European. You know, you can go to the Asia. You can go. You know, they look to us for fashion, for music. You know, for rhythm. So I believe that's one of our go-to points. You know, that's one of our gifts that we have that God gave us. You know.
And jumping off that, that's what I totally believe in too. Like we gotta jump on a new type of wave that we invented.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why we riding with that term gang, because that's what the kids is saying too. Ever since
Right.
when did the Chicago wave start? What did you say? Was that 2010, 11? Kind of thing, the whole Chief Keef way, and everybody gang. You know what I'm saying?
And everybody's saying
everybody's saying it now. Like that's the thing. That's the mantra
right
now. Like I think when I was growing up, you had things like every era has one. Like maybe in the 70s, it was like solid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, in my era, it was like word is bond. Like you know what I'm saying? Like now that's just gang. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what the fuck that shit means at all. But like, you know what I'm saying? But you know, the kids feel it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't necessarily per se even know what that needs to feel. There's an energy behind it, and I want to get behind that energy, but put a message behind it. Put a real spearheaded energy behind it, not just misguided shit like rebels without a cause and all of that. Because I'm pretty sure in the realms of science, agriculture, fashion, and all that, we got motherfuckers doing it. Like you know what I'm saying? That is not per se trying to ride the coattails of fucking Timothy, Sally, Susan, and all those motherfuckers. You know, and to each his own though. And this is one thing I want to drop on here too. This is not gonna be one of those you know, shea butter fucking soapbox Union Street, 4th Avenue, you know, 34th Street platforms where motherfuckers just spewing hate all day.
Right.
Like we is gods in the way we view ourselves, so why we gonna hate on some shit? You know what I'm saying? Like I have no hate on my heart. I just want us to start acknowledging our own godhood and the goddesses out there too. You know what I mean? This is not no misogynist platform here. Again, we look at the ladies just as equally. They, if anything, they're on their shit more than us. Most of us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And yeah, that's really what type of time I think we need to be on.
Yeah, I think it's a definite time of strengthening one's mind, you know, especially us as black males. The things that we go through on a daily basis, not even pinpointing the justice system, you know, you go into the justice system and you see how many black males are in there on a daily basis, just whichever state or city you're in, just go to the local courthouses and just look in the courtrooms and see how many black males are in there just for silliness, you know, whether it be truth or lies. How many black males versus other cultures, Hispanic and white, etc., etc. You know, the justice system is definitely set up against us, you know. So as we're born into this earth, we already have something against us, which is very unfair, you know, because we bring a lot to the table. We bring a lot of strength, a lot of wisdom because of who we are. Our bloodline is strength and wisdom. But being as though the system, our U.S. of A. is set up against us, we have so much to work towards to be successful. And I think that's the damnation on what this nation entails. But you know, platforms such as this, podcasts, and et cetera, we're able to kind of give a voice and give some wisdom to our young people and old as well to kind of find their way, you know.
Exactly, and that's ill that you said even the old people, because that's something I think that is one of the issues that's like really plaguing us, is that we don't have a way to bridge like, because there's like, let's say, but maybe the next people that's closest to us that's on our type of time is in the 2 states over,
right,
or a state over, even though that's still too much of a distance. And even in this day and age where, okay, that shouldn't make a difference because we have computers and things like that, they might be on some shit where they're like, they're Presbyterian. They don't want to hear what the fuck we gotta say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The Presbyterians don't want to hear the Muslims. The Muslims don't want to hear the Christians.
Exactly.
You know.
And I really harp on the idea of understanding that we need to understand to change the paradigm in how we view ourselves. I mean, again, even though we just said we're not gonna be on the coattails of other cultures, look at how the Mafia moved.
Right.
You know, I was just talking about this with my mom's the other day. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's really interesting. They were in our position at a time,
right,
where they was hated amongst themselves, well, amongst the other pilgrims,
exactly.
You know, other groups of pilgrims. But although they got to rise because of they had the complexion of perfection,
right,
but what ultimately got them up to a point where they was able to infiltrate is because all of them got in the room and realized that above all else they had to have a code amongst themselves.
Right.
They had to. Togetherness. So, and then it's zero tolerance in certain fields.
Right.
So they almost operated loosely, even the ones that wasn't, you know, per se fighting, because people don't really look at this like the neighborhood helped the Mafia get to where the Mafia got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it loosely worked like a military.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody pitches in, everybody doing what they got to do, everybody's chipping in. There's a little elements of communism.
Right.
These are little buzzwords that as Americans we're told not to look at, but the motherfuckers that, you know, don't got nothing to worry about now, this is what they did to get to where they're at now, where they wish a motherfucker would.
Right.
You know, so we have to kind of have that with a code for in which we don't look at these frivolous things that separate us.
Right.
You know what I mean? We just gotta be like, all right, that's skin folk. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta have maybe some fucking wink, a handshake. You know what I'm saying? That identifies each other,
right,
and knows, all right, above all else, his ideals have to match mine,
right,
and we have to have a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, I think starting out just from the ground up, what I've noticed, even in walking and passing, some of my brothers and sisters, just speaking, just saying, you know, nodding head, good morning, what's up, brother? That goes a long way, you know, because most of the time we're not encouraged as we go through this life, you know. And just that one acknowledgement of someone else, it kind of uplifts you, you know. It brings you to a certain place where actually, oh, I'm actually noticed, you know, I'm actually, it's not such an aggression type thing where, especially black males, because we, you know, I feel like we're all kings, you know, and we're all lions. Sure. So in that regard, we kind of go through certain avenues with aggression, and even you never know what another person's going through. But I feel like, you know, just in passing, the Southern style with going through things, you know, just walking past and saying what's up, saying good morning, saying good afternoon, it really goes a long way, you know. So I think that would be a beginning.
I feel like we getting there.
Yeah.
I feel like we getting there. Like I see it across the board. I mean, in certain regards, we are dragging ass a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We are not gonna we're not gonna be sugarcoating shit on here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We do gotta get our act together in a lot of regards. You know what I'm saying? I am seeing a lot of goofy shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of fuckery. As my Caribbeans like to say, but you know, ultimately I do see that we're like looking, we're like scratching on the walls, like for some type of outlet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You had it kind of started a couple of years ago, and I don't know what was the catalyst. I kind of see it like with you got things like the James Baldwin movie. Me and bro was talking about the other day.
Amazing.
You know, I still didn't get around to seeing it. You know what I'm saying?
Pioneer.
But then you got other movies like the Ava DuVernay movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got Out of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
You got Hidden Colors, and these don't drop a minute ago. So it was like the inception for this energy happened way before it was necessary in this era.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So it was like, luckily the seeds was dropped. And now we got this asshole in office, so it's like we kind of was already geared up. I kind of feel like we was already mentally like prepared for this type of shit.
Right.
But a large majority of us seem to have been lulled to sleep in a way almost like on. I can't really tell if it's because of fear,
right,
or just like some shit like I just give up.
right.
But yeah, there's a whole large majority of us as well that's just not fucking with the whole system right now, and it's not really benefiting us.
Yeah, now it's definitely time to shine, and I believe you can make light out of any dark situation, and I believe that is the day and time that we're in right now, because you're seeing a lot of this media footage of our brothers and sisters being gunned down in the streets, etc., and they're pinpointing a lot of our shortcomings. If you look at the Chicago gang situation,
Which I'm not fucking with.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm hating all of them videos.
So that's all media. That's you know how that goes.
Yeah.
That's all media. But then you go to the coin side and you see the white America and how much of them, or how much their dislike is for the black community. You see that. How to make America great again, or want to make America great again, and then I feel like that's a racist slogan in itself, because even when he was going, when he was going for office, you saw the riots and you saw the fighting in the rallies.
Yeah,
I've never seen that in a presidency in my life, So that was an introduction of, look, this is what America's about to lean towards.
Yeah.
Get ready, You got the low income marshmallow population, which is the leading force in welfare, but the media they don't tell you that. They don't go to the low income marshmallow populations, but they will pinpoint the projects and they will pinpoint the crime and the drugs there. But when the opiate epidemic came about, what do? They transformed that into, now we got to build these health centers to help them. But then you piggyback and go to the crack era, when we had all these drug addicts not even selling it, but using it, and then just by using it, you're locking them up. Some even still in there, even for the marijuana. Some people are still in there for ounces of weed, and you still in jail. You getting 10 years for an ounce.
But you know what's crazy for me? It's like I look at like the shit that history, how history solved issues like this in other realms. Because one of the things that I think the black community, and this is I mean we're all victims of this shit because we live in this fuck ass country.
Right.
But one of the things we victims of is always looking at the shit that happened to us. Like, you remember when you was 9 and then like your mother used to beat your ass,
right?
And then like you had the whelp on your leg and you would look at it and then you would flash back to when she just beat your ass like 2 hours ago.
Right.
So you tight now. You know what I'm saying? That's us a little bit.
Right.
And then we're not looking to get out of that. Like I wanted to jump on when you was talking about the gun issues and all of that. I'm more in the vein of the great Kevin Gates. My man, he changed his life. He's all the way about that life,
yes.
As a lot of people know.
Yes.
And he's Muslim now, and things of that nature.
A model dad.
Which is what's up.
Yeah.
And you know what he said though? And I'm paraphrasing, but he was talking about the context was the state of America. He said, "Yo, y'all bullshit talking about us." He's like, "Call me when they get gangster."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like I'm on that type of time, bro.
Yeah.
Like I don't really even watch the news in any regard.
Right.
Because I already know what type of time they on. They're not fucking with me.
Right.
So, I think, and this is gonna be on our shit too, because like we stated earlier, we gonna be different. We gonna be changing locales and shit too.
Yeah,
we're gonna be at the range.
Yes.
We have to, instill it in our viewers. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Because I think a lot of people is even scared to approach that realm because we've been so brainwashed. I truly believe black people don't think they supposed to have guns in their hand.
Right.
If it's not illegal. Like niggas feel nervous if it's legal in their hand. Like going to the range, like
right.
is it okay?
Yeah.
Like yes, nigga.
Perfectly okay.
It's perfectly okay. That's your Second Amendment, dog.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And speaking of which, I don't know where they're at in their business, but there's a business that's black owned that they're a firearm company. They're called Redstone's Firearms.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I know they're trying to open up in DC and things like that. They're out of state and they're black owned. You know what I'm saying? And they do their thing. They on the gram and all of that.
Right.
And I think these are one of those things like, as far as the psyche goes, that's like the black people, like the black community being in the gym.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Us being comfortable with firearms and things like that, and flexing our second amendment, that is, you know, that's like going to the gym. Like, once you get outside, you go to the beach, you like, fuck,
right.
I'm taking my shirt off. Hey, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how we need to be right now, because I really, really feel like we're somewhat there, because we have that organic pride that's just in us,
right,
which builds us to be resilient, but it's not enough to, you know, move around comfortably where we feel like we're on equal footing, because we know we're not on equal footing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Subconsciously, but
right.
we're so powerful. We don't like to say that shit. You got motherfuckers talking about, let's start the revolution right now, nigga. Right. Son, if they shut down McDonald's, nigga, it's a wrap. Right. The revolution is gonna be in a weekend. Son. Right. It's gonna be in a weekend, and we don't even know how to live off the land.
Yes.
Basic shit.
We don't know how to farm.
Basic shit. So all of that other shit is romanticizing the shit they was talking about in the 60s and 70s, essentially. Exactly. And we got to get off that shit. We got to get way more refined, and we got to be way more vigilant. We still got motherfuckers getting gunned down, and it's not. And now, what's crazy, it's not even happening by the police like that no more.
Right. It's happening by citizens.
You know what I'm sayand citizens that's not going to jail because of it, because they understand what it is. See, this is one thing. Again, we stated it's gonna be controversial, and we gonna be saying shit that's gonna make fuckers butthurt from both sides on here. Right. You know, I feel like a lot of times we don't know the nature of the beast. You know, so
the stand your ground law in Florida.
Yeah, that's like, it's a law.
Crazy.
It's a law. All the laws are against us. I mean, until you try. You know, so I'm not telling anybody to maliciously go out and hurt somebody, but if you the family and you listening right now, if you're in a situation that seems like it may be dynamic at a moment's notice, don't feel free to stand your ground. And you know, you need to leave the house prepared to stand your ground, as your family should. And you know, things on here, we're not gonna be spilling it out. If you can't understand what we're talking about, man, you know,
learn about it later.
Yeah, learn about it later. Read up. We live in the Google era.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't babysit motherfuckers that don't pick up the Googles. You know what I'm saying? Don't you hate nowadays? You'll have a conversation with a motherfucker, they be like, I don't know it. And then niggas will still try to go past the conversation. If with their phone in their hand, he be like, nigga, look it up. Nigga, like, know it. You can know it.
Power.
Knowledge is power right now. So, you know, and that's the type of time we need to be on, man. We do not need to be timid. Yeah. I almost said cowardice, but we're not cowards. I don't think I mean, there are cowards in every group. I think there's a small group of cowards in our group, but not large enough to fucking seem like a turd in a punch bowl. Exactly. I think we could do away with them in a way that we could still get our goals across and do what we have to do. You know?
Mental health.
You
said something earlier regarding don't take what happened to you in the past into the future, which is very hard on a lot of platforms. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
But when done, growth is rapid. So I encourage, don't take what happened to you in the past into the future. Take that as a learning experience, no matter how bad it is.
Exactly.
Just grow from it. You can't get any lower. So just grow from that point and just prosper. That's my word.
I like that. I really do. Yeah. Do you think we're trying to grow from it?
Well, it has to be taught, because a lot of people carry pain around with them, and a lot of situations are not growing situations. And if you're not in a situation that's growing, it's hard to do personal growth mentally, you know, in a lot of aspects. So when that mental growth happens, first off, then you'll see your exterior change around you. your friends, your family, the way you live, the way you move, the places you go. You know what I mean? The networking opportunities, the job opportunities, et cetera, et cetera. You know, so I believe that mental transition, that mental switch. You know, read a book. You know, read your spiritual guidelines, the Bible, the Quran, et cetera, whatever. You know, if you're a Buddha, read your spiritual text. But just do some type of transition. Get your peace of mind together. Collect your thoughts, and just move towards bettering yourself, strengthening yourself. You know, that's one thing that I had to learn. I had to pinpoint, you know, based on things that I had went through. You know, that kind of I had to ask God, like, what is, you know, because I'm a perfectionist. You know, but life is not perfect. So when you think as a perfectionist, and then you go through certain things that are out of your control that you had nothing really to do with, you really didn't do anything wrong, but that transitional stage in your life, negative wise, happened. You gotta switch that flick on. You gotta flip that switch. You know.
So globally, do you feel like we are maybe in some type of perfectionist stage where we are constantly trying to harp on what we did in the past and then refine it for the future, but we're still caught up in being victimized or viewing ourselves in a way that is skewing what we need to do for the future? Because I feel like right now for the last 6 years or so, I feel like there was you can kind of look at the trajectory globally where we was at, you know what I'm saying, look at other black people globally and see where they're at and be like, okay, I kind of looked at that like the temperature where we at, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And right now, I feel like we're stagnated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right now, there's a little bit of stagnation. I don't know from where.
Mm-hmm.
I could kind of pinpoint it a little bit. Million Man March.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I want to say around that time. That was where I viewed the stack. Now, of course, there's been progress since then and things like that, but that's debatable. You know what I'm saying? It's been more of a lot of the same.
Right.
Yeah.
So are you saying that you feel like the Million Man March was the point of stagnation? Like that was the turning point, or that was where the climax of
Special guest, Jerron.
Yeah, special guest, everybody.
Sorry, they introduced me a little bit earlier, but I'm Jerron. I was gonna let them do it, but I'm hopping just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm a slight guest. But I just want to ask that question.
At least for me, from my everybody has their own experiences. I could at least say I remember because I was there, boots on the ground. I remember. It's funny. It's almost like it felt like a Boondocks episode, in retrospect, because it was weird. I remember I'm trying to think. How old were you at the time? Because me and you are the same age, right?
During the Million Man March?
Yeah.
It was 95, right?
No, not that one. I'm talking about, I was a baby. I was not marching shit. I'm talking about the one that just happened recently.
Oh, the second one.
Yeah. My man said a minute ago.
The 500,000 man march.
Yeah. That's why he was like, hold up, that shit. He's like, it's been stagnated for 20 years, bro.
Yeah, I was thinking about the first one. The first one was powerful.
No, I'm talking about the second one. I'm talking about the second one, brother.
The second one.
The second one.
Wow.
I'm talking about the second one.
Okay.
Second one.
So
sorry, viewers. Even for the viewers, if y'all thought I was talking about the first one, no, I do not think we've been stagnated for about 20 years. But maybe we have to. Right. That's debatable.
And I thought that could have possibly been a valid point.
Right.
It could be. That's debatable.
But I thought of him using the Million Man March as a marker. I thought that in and of itself was interesting.
That's interesting. I didn't want to do that because me being a baby at that time, I don't think it would be fair to not to say, nah, I goofed at that time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It seemed pretty powerful back then.
Yeah, my question to the masses is, what organization stemmed off of all of those men coming together? So me being in DC since that time, I haven't seen anything program-wise, such as the movements that the Black Panthers had, where they had the after-school programs, et cetera, et cetera.
Free lunch.
I have not personally seen anything in that regard, even on a local scale, not even to mention a global scale.
Exactly.
To
just for our listeners that might be a little butthurt, we're not talking about the Nation of Islam. We got love for the nation.
Right.
We're not saying a global institution like them is not doing nothing for the people, because they have really gave love to and helped mad black people.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're talking about black people in general, like why there has been no, I guess, fruition of the ideas that were planted at the time.
Right.
And I felt like a lot of good things were said, a lot of good points were brought forward. But I guess that's like what you were saying.
I felt like that in the 2000s.
And I was like, right, what have we seen
Right.
As a result of that?
Yeah.
And I think that's a valid question.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things too. I'm not sure if that's where the pride kicks in, because we don't want to say that us getting together was nothing,
Right.
but us getting together, because I'm not gonna. All right, this is what I experienced. This is what I was saying in my experience going to the one in the second one in the 2000s.
Yeah.
The mid-thousands march.
Right.
You know what I mean? It felt like a. I'm not gonna say that, but it felt. No, it did. It felt like a high-end barbecue.
Oh.
It really did.
Damn.
In the sense of there was, and no, not even that, because that's not the feel. I didn't feel like I loved everybody, because I
Right.
loved everybody at my barbecues.
Right.
I felt like, have y'all been to one of those parks that's like a community park and there's mad barbecues, not just your barbecue?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm
Pockets
saying?
of barbecue.
Yeah. So it's mad black people, and it's just like me and you spoke on that the other day, Jerron, like how. Like it's like a room full of black people. We create a certain energy and a vibe that just feels so loving and just ill.
Yes.
Like DC that day felt so loving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's like niggas was walking in the wrong direction. Like, like we all was. Like we was walking home. Like we were always mad about.
But we were walking happily.
Like happily, exactly. Like we was like it was very interesting. It was very surreal. Like. I don't think Atlanta was out at this time.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't, but I'm not gonna.
What an amazing show, Atlanta.
Yeah, that we're gonna touch on.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a whole
Atlanta.
shout out to
Donald Glover.
Shout out to
man.
Donald Glover
God
and the
damn,
whole cast.
You're killing
Man.
it.
Shout out to
You're killing
Lakeith.
it.
He killing it right
Yeah.
now.
Oh yeah. Did you?
I didn't
y'all
see it
started
yet.
about. Okay.
I didn't
okay.
even see
Well,
it. No spoilers.
Right.
No spoilers.
Meanwhile, we jumping all the way off subject.
Yeah.
Wait.
That's
Yeah.
what you were saying.
Yeah. So the thing is, it was so surreal. That's why I brought up Atlanta. That's one thing I will say on here. I think we all movie buffs. That will be spoken. We're gonna be breaking down some shit. But in another on another note, it was so surreal, bro. Like there was a moment where it didn't rub me the wrong way, but it like now saying it felt like Atlanta. I can tell you what happened. So like I was walking, and you know me how I am now. Like I was just talking to everybody, like trying to see what type of time they on, and I felt again like I was younger then, so I really felt like some shit could pop off. But I was very naive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm like, nah, we should walk down to the White House now with all of us, like you know what I'm saying, and just post there. You know what I'm saying? And then motherfuckers really wasn't listening. But one thing that caught my eye was there was a girl, like, she was, like, on the gram, like, you know, having the hand up, like, we out here, like, but it was, like, I realized that it wasn't that moment, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. It was he was like, oh, no, this is what it is. No, that's the point. This is the time. This is the time we live in.
So that was so
like,
surreal,
he thought it was a
man.
movement. It's like, no, nigga. It's a social media moment.
It's a social media moment. So
this moment was brought to you by Instagram.
Yo, like, it was wild, son. Like, it was wild. And then it was like, I realized, like, the girls out there was on a different time, like I was talking to them and they looking at me like, nigga, you cute. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and
they trying to bag
out there.
How many brothers gonna be out there?
Like, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy, man. And it wasn't like all the sisters were like that or all the brothers, but it was enough that, I mean, that was the feel.
Low
like,
key, if that would have been like the Million Women's March, we'd have been down there.
Yeah.
Low key, we'd have been down there.
I would say that if I was at that march,
my man,
I mean, my thing
got his lawyer out.
I'll be honest, and my thing is, I'll be honest, is that like I would have some respect about it, and
Yes.
I would be
decorum.
there. I wouldn't do it at the march.
Yeah.
Limit
But
5
it's like-
numbers.
But it's like, as soon as the march is over, I mean, come on, man. How many black women is about to be out there? And are you fucking kidding me? If anybody who's listening has ever been to Essence Fest, I imagine it would be a lot like that.
Right.
And if you've never been to Essence Fest, number one, go
need to go.
ASAP.
Yeah. Okay,
And
so I'm the
number
only
two-
nigga that hasn't been to Essence Fest here, so just I need to go.
I've never been out
And
there.
number
Okay,
two,
all right, man.
just
All right.
imagine the land dripping with milk and honey. I mean, it's black women of all ranges, all complexions, all ages,
Afro
all
punk on
ranges
crack.
of salary, all tax brackets. I mean,
Oh my
anything. I mean, come on, man.
Just the
all
flavors.
here. It's like all types, man. And it's just like that shit is. So yeah, to get back to your point, it's like. We would, you know what I'm saying? Your eyes,
Yeah.
you can focus, your heart can be in the movement, but you never lose your eyes. So,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and I
Like,
agree, bro. And I just like, and that goes right back to the foundation. Like, I just think that we don't necessarily like. Again, like I'm not gonna. I don't feel shy about being crude or anything, but it's like, motherfucker. I said it to you before. Like, I don't feel conscious or quote unquote the commercial term now, because it is commercial saying these terms now, because I'm like, yo, I still like to do raunchy shit every now and again, like, you know what I'm saying? I still like to do some nasty shit, like, I don't know if that's holistic, man.
Yeah.
Like, so, but it's like, at the same time, I know where we need to be as a group of people,
Right.
and then it's like that for other members in our family. We got the Moist brothers and sisters.
Right.
For the Moist brothers, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just had Pride Month in DC.
Right.
It was crazy. Y'all was out here showing your ass. No pun intended.
Right.
But we support y'all too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
definitely.
saying? Are you confused? He's like Moist.
Yeah, I'm like.
Yeah,
no,
oh,
yeah,
all right.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
that's again. We got to start dropping the
Proud.
terms. That's how you identify with gay brothers. You know what I'm saying? It's a term that's gay. That's the gay community. The gay.
What,
yeah.
Where's the? I've never
Moist?
heard the term. Where's
You
it
never.
from?
What? I don't know where moist came from. I don't know who coined the term moist, but I've heard this for years.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
a New York thing or is it like?
I think it's like a generality of them.
It's like
That's what
being
they-
fair,
that's what
yeah.
they-
If you call instead of calling a motherfucker straight out homo,
Yeah.
that's a little abrasive. If you call them moist, they even accept being called moist.
Right.
I guess because having moist skin is okay, so for everybody in general, but no real nigga want to be
Really?
called moist.
I've literally never heard the term.
Well, there you go, family, moist. Yeah, like that's that.
But how many of them accept being called that though?
As far as I've heard, all of them. Like, I've never heard it termed like
You know, it's not a derogatory.
not
term.
derogatory. Yeah, like
Okay.
my mother is my radar for everything gay. Her being gay, and I don't see. I've never been told moist is like bad.
Yeah, she probably would have let you know. Like,
Yeah, she would let me know, like, the black delegation. Like,
Don't say that word.
Yeah, don't say that word. Like, yeah, so, like, the Moist Brothers, we got all different, we come in a lot of different shades, and especially nowadays, you got the Afro Punk Festival. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
That's
also another great festival too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Shout
you know
out
what
to
I'm saying?
Afro.
And it's
Shout-
all over
shout
the
out
world
Afro
now.
Punk.
That shit is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
lit. That's
Yeah.
lit. Like, that's a whole subgenre of black people that never had a community before. You know what
Or
I'm
I
saying?
think that we should speak to that point in and of itself, is where you said that they never had a community before, and I think it's important that we remember in everything that there's a big picture,
Of course,
and one of
of
the
course.
big pictures in the history of the world is that one of the things the social media shit and this internet, really the internet has done, is it's not that these people haven't had a community before. It's that now you see it.
Now you
Right.
see it.
Right. It's like
There you
they
go, bro.
always
There you go.
had a community before.
There you go.
Just
And
like
that's true.
people were surprised and they're like, oh, why is everybody gay now and shit? It's like, yo, people have been gay people have been around
Yeah,
since the
right.
beginning. It's like,
You
this
shouldn't have
shit-
gave him a
this
camera,
shit
nigga.
humanity, right. It's like all it is that now it's like, you know, you can see everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like, and it's like that's the one good thing that's happening in this, I guess, current climate, is that everybody has a voice too. Is that because now that you have the internet, is that, man, I mean, for better or for worse, because, you know, now I don't know if y'all niggas know about incels, but that shit is
Put me
wild,
on. What's
man.
that? What's that?
Man, I don't do that's that might have to be a whole 10-part.
A whole nother.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
see.
but in a nutshell, incels. This is some crazy shit, and it's like just to speak to the whole pilgrim aspect. It's like incels is like literally there's this whole internet community, and it's like quite sizable.
Okay.
Of people that call themselves. It's short for involuntarily celibate,
Oh.
and it's like this group of white men who feel like, because they can't get laid, it's everyone else's fault.
So
literally.
now,
Step your game up, incels.
No, literally. But here's the wild shit, though. It's like, no, they kill motherfuckers, though.
Oh, like they
Right.
hitters. They about to like.
Like, there have been multiple, like, serial killers and shit that have, like, identified with their community. It was like, I started to read an article about them, and, like, when I tell you a nigga literally had to stop, that shit is dark as fuck. It's like, that is a terrible,
But
terrible.
look,
terrible.
this is
the whole segment.
But it's like my whole point of bringing them up was just to say that I didn't know they existed, and it's because of the internet. Yeah. Now I know. Right. It's like, that's all it is that it was scary because it's like, how long they've been around, who fucking knows? Right. But they're out here, and that's the thing, internet, man. Anybody can be on some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we're the last motherfuckers that's on some shit. To be honest, I think every community has some other shit but us.
Right. I mean, fucking the PETA community united and got Michael Vick in jail for some dogs, nigga.
Wait, hold up. He's in jail again?
No.
Oh, back in the day.
Yeah, just to.
I was like, yo, Mike, no.
But it's like I just watched the Vick documentary on Bleacher Report. You should check that shit out on YouTube because that shit is great.
Right.
And it's just like. That shit just reminded me of like just how big of that shit that was at the time.
Right.
And just like it was like really crazy because it's like I was always shocked then and always, you know what I'm saying, that's my man, so I've always been, you know, felt some type of way about that.
Absolutely.
But it's like, it was like watching that shit just reminded me like, yo, they really got this nigga for some dogs.
For some dog, and people getting off murder. They getting off. Zimmerman getting off on murder.
Right.
This is
and it's like while people, and it's like I also want to just speak to this real quick while we talking about people getting off for murder. Guess what else, niggas? I mean, how many fucking white people is getting off in Hollywood right now, or have been exposed after years of? I mean, let's talk about Kevin Spacey molesting, rape. I mean,
they
sex. It's like,
yo,
white people, why do y'all unite for fucking dogs, but sexual abuse, my nigga?
Right.
Y'all niggas are quiet as a church. Right. It's quiet as a. Let somebody's breast get grabbed at work. I can't hear shit.
Right.
But a dog got a dog, nigga.
And that's why we love Atlanta, because you remember when Atlanta touched on that? You remember when my man went to go shoot up the dogs? The dog target?
And they couldn't handle it right. Exactly.
Yeah. We're going to have a whole episode.
And it's just like crazy, but it's like white women who are, y'all will stand next to a white nigga who will sexually abuse you and unite for the cause of the dogs.
Right.
This is my question to the family. Man. What do you think, if anything?
And I'm not. And I just want to clarify. It's like if you're white and listening to this, which would be surprising, but if you are,
I don't know. That white guilt is real right now.
Yeah.
White guilt is on an all-time high.
Right. If you are,
it's on an all-time high.
It's like just to clarify, because you know y'all always need clarification because you get offended so easily. I'm not singling out all of you. I'm just saying white community. What the fuck is up with that shit? Yeah, dogs
it is
over sexual abuse and murder. That shit is wild.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
So this is my question to the family. What, if anything, right now, in real time, can black people get on code about? What is it? What is the one single thing? I was trying to think about it even as you speak right now. Like
on code. Like,
we could shut some shit. Like, what could it be, if anything? I'm like, I don't know.
The thing is that I think the only
issue dance like
and we want y'all to chime in the comment section too and let us know.
I feel like there's a slight complication with trying to be on code about something right now, just because it's like black people, we're probably the only community in the world, specifically African American, who have no love for themselves.
Right.
And because of that, it's like it's impossible for us to unite because there's always a reason that we can fuck each other over.
Right.
Because we don't love ourselves, so we don't love each other. So it's like I can always think of a reason. Like if somebody offers me enough money, David's no longer important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's too easy for niggas to do that. And we're the only community because it's like it's funny when my homegirl was talking about, she was talking with her Jewish friend and he was like, yeah, just talking about how like, you know, in their community it's like it's not about whether you fuck with them or not. It's that when you come to an area or when you're in an area, you're doing business with the Jewish guy first because you're a Jew. loyalty to who you are. And it's like, niggas, when the fuck are we gonna get on that bullshit?
If Crisco was taken off the market, I think we would unify like that globally and get that shit back sold again. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, what would we be like? Oh hell no! Oh hell no! Like universally,
Popeye shuts down.
if there are Popeyes in Africa, if they have Popeyes in Africa.
Oh, you mean universally?
Oh, universally.
If Michael Jordan stopped selling his
Jordans.
shoes.
I was about to say that Jordans.
But here's the thing. Here's the other thing we gotta say is that. That's why I said
that's fucked up. Jordan, if you stop selling shoes, niggas will unite for you.
But that's why I spoke specifically to African Americans.
And he won't mess with a black woman.
He never had no black bitches.
He had a black wife. He doesn't. Just like OJ did. But then it was like, you know what I'm saying? Sisters aren't crazy, so they get their money and get out before the niggas turn left.
And disclaimer.
You didn't see her getting stabbed.
Disclaimer: we are not the pussy patrol or dick police on here, but we do not support coonery or bed wenching on here. We got who's the biggest bed wenches right now in the country?
Man.
Bed wenches and coons.
I feel
Kanye.
Kanye.
Man, I feel like that's a separate podcast.
That's debatable. Debatable. That's debatable. I hate. He's the nigga I hate to love.
Turn some viewers
He's the
off
nigga
with
I hate to love right now.
I'm beefing with my own girl over this. Legit. I really am.
Kanye,
she doesn't even like for me to bring it up.
He is the nigga we hate to love right now. I would say legit coons though. I think I would say Charles Barkley.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Because who's the coon that we all hate right now? Then who's the one that we just feel turns our stomach? Is there a single
fucking Ben Carson?
Yeah, there we go. But he's been
I like it. Any nigga that's standing next to in the cabinet, though.
Yeah, you know.
I feel like niggas is universally united. Right. I feel like niggas is universally united against Donald Trump. Period. So it's like if you're gonna associate, and it's like Kanye threw a lot of niggas off of the slavery, but it's like. Here's the only thing I'll say about Kanye is that, like, I'm not going to sit here and say I supported his comments.
Right.
My thing about Kanye is just that, like, I look at entertainers as entertainers. So it's like, I'm not, you really got to go out of your way to make me, like, really judge your work based on your personality.
Right.
Because it's like, at the end of the day, that shit is not important. I don't know Kanye.
Right.
So it's like, people are like, oh, how can you support him? And what did he mean? You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't know what he meant. Because I can't talk to that nigga. I don't know that nigga. So it's like, at the end of the day, that's not important to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the only shit I'm going to say about that.
True.
What's that black billionaire's name that he don't got a lot of pictures? Is it oh man,
there's a black billionaire?
A
man?
Something Alan something
Alan Johnson?
or Baron. He was a comedian, but now he owns like he's like a magnate. He owns shit. Like I think he owns like Viacom. I don't want to misspeak.
Well, I know there are a couple of
But
billionaires.
I use him as an example because he was clever like a motherfucking fox. He dated white bitches, corny as hell. His whole facade is like a coon, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the facade. This nigga owns like every white shit, and they like he did what Bill Cosby tried to do. You know what I'm saying?
But without drugging.
Too soon.
You get him popping. He got it popping.
I'm skipping the bullshit. Let me just.
I want to say Byron. Barry. Oh man, I forget his name. But the whole point of who I'm thinking of.
To know who he is.
I'm trying to look him up. But he date white bitches and all that shit. But his whole shit, Michael Jackson, that's another example. I'll give one that everybody knows.
You'll say he's a cooner?
No. I know, but he was clever as a fox in the sense of...
I was about to say, I was like, wait a minute.
Dated
podcast is canceled.
No. Dated white bitches, totally like overtly asexual, very like household name, shrewdest fucking businessman, and if you look at it, in my perspective, I feel he has a legacy that is very pro-black.
Okay.
Yeah. But was he overtly asexual? I feel like he marketed.
I'm talking about like the facade though. Like, you know what I'm saying? The shit that, all right, put it like this. Before the sexual allegations, right? Like I don't think the white community felt like having their white kids around or white teenage daughters around Michael Jackson like he was gonna fuck their brains out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Having your white daughter around Trey Songz, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's going down.
It's going down.
It's going down.
As soon as they get in the car, he's like,
He pressing play. It's on.
every white dad is crying like, no.
Like, you know
God damn it, not ours.
Like, you know what I mean?
Baby.
Like, they're gonna know what's going down.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, I think he has that very, like, oh, he can't harm a fly.
Right.
But I think that was the art of being a shrewd businessman. Like, you know, it's been like 10 plus years he's dead now. Low key, his legacy is still intact.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
You know what I'm saying?
Who?
Michael Jackson, in my opinion.
I mean, absolutely, but that's also because, I mean, he never lost a step. You saw the This Is It tour.
Right.
Yeah,
That
but
shit was about to be
I also
crazy.
mean, I think that's the values he stood on. Like, we could, like, a lot of people could try to tarnish other shit, but, like, as far as a black icon, like, that nigga is kind of seal proof. You know what I'm saying?
But that also speaks to the level of, he's the most successful entertainer of all time, period. And it's not even close.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
really not even close.
Right.
Like, people think the Beatles are the most legendary shit, and it's
No,
like,
not at all.
even in the numbers, he, like, more than doubled them.
Right.
And he's one man.
I still look at some of his old work on YouTube, man. I'm astonished. Like, I can't believe like his moves and his
he's
presentation. It's like,
oh,
man,
like watching his shows.
his old shows.
Yeah, no, his
man,
shows
like,
are ridiculous. And then, like, when he debuted the moonwalk and the first
The
three
first
rows
one
passed
went out.
No, you saw it right. They were carrying bodies out of Michael concerts
Yo.
back then.
And I didn't want to lose.
People were
I didn't want to lose touch.
overwhelmed.
Just by him doing the moonwalk, the whole crowd erupted.
And I didn't.
Erupted.
No, the most legendary. Did you see his?
This guy. I found it. My full family. Byron Allen. It is this brother.
Okay.
He's a billionaire.
This dude is like, yes sir, yes sir.
Byron Allen, folks, known professionally as Byron Allen, is an American comedian, television producer, executive officer of the U.S. television production company Entertainment Studios.
Wow.
Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, and niggas don't know.
Wait. Scroll up. Who is it? His spouse
This is my point.
was Jennifer Lewis. That's...
Who's
Wait,
that?
oh, Jennifer Lucas. Oh, okay. I was about to, guys, if I was about to fucking pass out. I was like, that would have been the twist of the
So
century.
if you see, he
Are
got
you
nothing
serious?
but white bitches as his spouse.
Well, wait a minute. Who's that? Oh, that's his
Wow,
mom.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Black.
God damn.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
right.
They ain't white bitches and fooled the whole system. They was like, wait, what does he own? How much stock does he have? No.
Right.
We let one slip past the system.
Right.
And
But,
you know,
I mean, they don't have to worry about him though.
they know the shit he's been doing. We're gonna speak on him later. I spoke on him for a reason because I do know a little. I got a little bit of receipts. He does been doing shit that's pro black, and his facade was very corny. You know what I'm saying? His facade was corny. As you saw it, they say he was a comedian. He's
Right.
very like I look at it almost like another one. He's now came out his show, in my opinion, Godfrey.
Right.
Have anybody been watching Vlad TV with him and Lord Jamar?
Not me.
Or him and just by himself?
Mm-mm.
Family go watch that. He's a comedian that's been in the game for years. But he's been on, he's most known for, in my opinion, like Best Week Ever. And he used to do these, like, these era type shows. You know how CNN does, the 20s, the 2000s and shit like that? VH1 were the first to do that. So he used to do that for years, and you know had a white aesthetic and you know shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
The guy that did the 7-Up commercials back in the day, the big black guy.
Okay.
Soul Plane, the co-pilot with Snoop.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's
him.
Godfrey.
Oh, wow, okay.
Date white bitches, all that shit in the game, super pro black. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the paradigm in America, pretty much they've skewed it like basically white people can fuck whoever they want and still be on some pro white shit. But it's like for you to be pro black or whatever, it's like a rule book. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they want to fucking control it still to a degree.
Right.
You can fuck who you want, date who you want, talk the shit you want, but bring that shit back to the community.
Right.
Bring all those resources back here, son.
Yeah.
Right back here where it needs to be, man.
And I guess that's really all that matters at the end of the day.
It really does. And that's what keeps it a gang. Like, that's the shit that ultimately keeps it codified, man.
But I think But the problem is that the way the system is designed is that it's very, very difficult, and I would say damn near impossible, really, to dip your feet in the water and not get dirty. It's like, and they set it up like that. It's like everybody. How many good people do you know got into the game? It's like, I was just playing the game. I'm just playing the game.
But that's why
I'm not losing sight of. I'm not losing. And it's like before you know it, man. They start. I mean, the way I think of it is, I feel like we talked about that before, like the military, how that does that.
That was just
how
about
people
to say,
go into the military.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just to try to get an education or to get a better job. You know what I'm saying? They have goals for their own life. That is the reason, as a means to get to an end. And then before you know it, they end up really believing that. Yeah, that America shit. Yeah, I was over in Iraq whooping that ass. Yeah, it was like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, God.
Your life versus your education, or your life versus your career. It's like
that's why we about to start setting those tools. We gonna and they're out there. That's what this podcast is gonna be there for. Cause I mean, we're gonna be the conduit.
Right.
I know there's a black god out there, a black goddess, a teenager or something that's doing some engineering shit that's trying to change the world, but they gonna fuck up and end up going to these pilgrim schools, thinking it's best to go to West Point or some shit. And being lost in that military regime.
And that sauce,
that's going there. And we're going to give them the tools or at least the foundation to know that they could do that themselves here.
Absolutely, man.
You know
Episode 1. G.A.N.G.Talk TV, man.
Wrap up.
Family, we love you. Stay tuned.
Stay in tune. It's been a pleasure, family. We're going to definitely try to keep this on a weekly, bi-weekly basis. But, you know, we're going to take reviews and we're gonna get on the comment section. We want y'all to be in the comment section and like and share, family. Gang.